I'm recording now. So today's session is about Core 21 preferences and settings. Just a reminder to everyone, it might have been a while since you've been in there using the system and getting things set up. There have been some updates to the system in the back end to try to make things run a little bit more smoothly. So we thought it'd be a good idea for Constantine, who is our office concierge with Century 21 Canada, to just go through some of the preferences and settings, just as a reminder, and because we're recording this, it'll be on file for you to go back to and refer to, so you can make sure that everything is working smoothly for you. Before we get started with any questions, there'll be time at the end again as well for more. No? Okay. So I'm going to mute everybody right now, and I will unmute Constantine so we can hear you, Constantine. You can go ahead and share your screen, and yeah, we are recording, so good to go.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, this is freaky. Okay, welcome everyone. Thank you, Doug and Vanessa, for inviting me to do this last week. Yeah, there's some changes that's happened over the past few months, and some things haven't changed, but I'm just going to go through basically some settings, some preferences, and try to explain what I think are some of the good reasons to do them to better increase your profile and your visibility online. When I hover down below here, give me a thumbs up. Can you see my icons down below? Like my Firefox and Google and all that? Does that show on the bottom of the screen?
No, we don't see that, Constantine. I think you've shared just the active window.
Okay, so you don't...
We just see the active window. You didn't share your entire screen, so we can't see those.
So,
if you want to change it, just click the stop share at the top, and then start again with the screen share, and then at that time choose your entire screen.
Choose my entire screen.
Yeah, so when you hit the share screen option, there are a bunch of things that pop up. Use the very first option.
Yeah.
Okay, that should work.
My screen. Can you now see my Google screen?
Yes.
Yeah, we can see Google.
Yeah?
Yeah, we're good.
Can you see down below all my icons that just popped up? Oh, okay. Okay, perfect. So a quick little, what I find useful that helps me. I use two internet browsers. I use Firefox primarily for my everyday web browsing, anything that I have to do. I use Google Chrome only. I only use Google Chrome when I'm dealing with Century 21, when I'm dealing with the Google Drive, when I'm dealing with my website. The reason for it is I know that if, excuse me, if I'm logged into my Google Chrome, if I go to the top right-hand corner of my screen, I see my little picture. And I know that's my company picture, and it's telling me that I'm logged into Google. So if Doug was to share something, or Vanessa shares a file, or Century 21 Canada shares a file, I know that I'm logged into Google and I can access anything in the Google Drive. When I use my Firefox, yeah, you do zoom here. So when I'm using my Firefox, I see a picture of me playing my guitar, my bass. So I know I'm not logged into Google. I'm logged into my YouTube account because I listen to music all day long. So that helps me to understand. So if I try to open a link that Doug emails me, a file, it's not gonna allow me to gain access because I'm not logged into my Century 21. I know to go to Google, I see my profile, and I know I'm in the Century 21 system, so I can access what I do. So in saying that, I see that I have my picture up. I'm going to hit the Rubik's Cube on the top right-hand side, and the word Google Apps appears. That's what I'm going to click. And I have to move, I guess, these slides because my window won't open. There we go. So when I click the Rubik's Cube, all my extensions are there that I can click on. I'm just going to scroll to the bottom and select Core 21. And I'm logging in with my Century 21. So I don't need to log in with username, passwords. It's stored for me nicely in the computer. And I'm on what's called the dashboard. On the top left-hand side, I can see the word dashboard. If I went to the hamburger menu, those top three lines, dashboard, they're both the same thing. You see the little RPM meter and that there, so I know I'm on the dashboard. This is, when you land in your Core 21, this is where any of your leads are waiting for you, any email messages that you may have received since the last time you logged in, any inquiries, any showing requests, anything that's come in that allows you to deal with them as quickly as possible. I know in talking with quite a few salespeople over the last little while, they never log into Core 21, and they have pending leads that might be a month, 2 months, 3 months old. People were requesting information on a showing or a CMA or something, and they were stunned that they were all here. So it's a little bit off topic to today, but I thought it was important that when you log in, please check your dashboard, make sure there's nothing there. If there were something, you can see how my hand goes up. I can click on it and deal with whatever is there. But of course, I have nothing, so there's nothing to see there. Is there any questions on the dashboard before I move on? I wouldn't even know how to tell if somebody raised their hand, so we'll save it till the end. I'm going to minimize this too. Okay, so I'm going to hit the hamburger menu, and within the system, there are two areas we're going to go in today. So at first, we selected Core 21. Today, we're going to be going into the icon here that says Settings, and at the bottom here, Preferences. So I did a flip of the coin this morning in Settings 1. They elected to receive, so we're going to Settings first, and we're going to explore what's in my settings. The settings icon, where we're going to go to is on the far left side is Website. The Google Contacts is not set up yet. BombBomb, that's a different day. We're not talking about embedding any Google tracking codes or integration. Our partners, we're going into Website. So we're going to be dealing strictly with any setting that we need to do for our website. So I'm going to click Website. I'm right now logged into the company website. I am going to make sure that I'm in my website. Okay, so one of the things I always do when I'm working in here, along the top, I have a second window that's always open, and I hope you guys can see that. What this is my website. The reason I like to have it open while I'm working in the back end is this is where I can make changes. I go to the bottom right-hand side and hit Save, and I can come back to my website, refresh it, and then I could see anything that I've done to see, oh, do I like it? Maybe I did something with a color, a font, a picture, whatever. So it gives me a little chance to kind of see if I like it and move on to something else. So the first thing, website setting. Right now we have, beside the word theme, whenever you see a little question mark and you hover over it, it tells you what it means. So we have the ability to pick two themes. There's a light background and there's a dark background. And so the light background is what appears on the side of your website. So this is the white background. If I was to select a dark background and hit Save, I wait for this green come up here that says that's been updated. I'm going back to my website and I'm going to refresh it. And you could see how it automatically changed the white to the dark or the gray Century 21 color. And doing that, it automatically reverted my text that was in black to white and kept the obsessed gold the way it was because I selected this color on purpose. So again, when we're in the system, I'm going to change it back to light and save it. When you are creating your website and you're entering data, specifically texts, don't select a white or black. Just keep it black as a default, because what happens is it will appear dark if you use the white background. If you decide to change it to the white background, you can see it's black. If you change it to black, it automatically converts the writing to white. What some people try to do in error, they might pick some text, and because their default was the dark background, they change the color to white, which is fine, it looks pretty. But when you go to change it white, you don't see the text because the text was all in white to begin with, so it kind of loses its transparency. If you change the gold, the obsessed gold, it will stay regardless. So if, for example, maybe if I had experienced the C21 difference, if I had done that in a red color, it doesn't matter what background theme I use, that will always be red. So just keep that in mind when you are creating your texts on your pages. You want to make sure, keep it black, that way it converts. Okay, that's just a little tip or trick that you don't want to learn the hard way on how that affects your text writing. On the right side, there's a primary navigation, and right now there's only one. It's a default setting, so there's nothing that we can pick and change on that. So that's going to stay the way it is for now. So that's our two website settings. We have the white and the black background and the default navigation. Now, the light background, what I can tell you is ladies like white background versus the male likes the dark background. And as we all know, the ladies make the decisions in our household. So if you want to make your website appealing to the ladies, always select a light background. They don't like the dark background, they're going to click and move on to somebody else's website on you. So keep it always to the white. I'm going to put mine back to white. According to Century 21 Canada, they've told us to keep it white because the ladies like it. Okay, next section, I'm rolling down here, and it's called lead registration. And this is something that you need to discover and do on your own and try to figure out how is it that you want to manage your website. And right now, mine is set. You can see here, require registration. I say no, never. And there's a drop down. And what this means is if somebody comes to my website and they happen to look at a property, they don't need to give me their login information, create an account or anything like that. There are some salespeople, some company offices that restrict what you can see before you have to give them your contact information. So it's a great way to generate leads, and it's also a quick way for someone to leave your website because you're not getting their contact information. They don't even know you yet, and I think it's difficult to get them to sign up. If they find that your website has been of value, they will sign up and give you their information. So keep that in mind. Try to see what works for you. You can change this at any time. There's a no never, which is how I keep mine. There's a yes always. So you log in, or you try to log in, and a pop-up window is going to appear. Yes, make it optional. So there's an option, the screen pops up and asks you for the information, but gives you an X so you can close it. Or after they've viewed a certain number of properties, they're going to ask you for their contact information. So I'm just going to open another window, Century 21, Atria. I believe is this one. So this is their company website, and they have some very high restrictions in terms of signing in and out and to view things. So if I want to go find a home, let's see if this works. I was kind of hoping to see the window pop up. I'm going to try another one just so I can demonstrate this, how this window pops up. I should have tested this morning. I was on here the other day and it was working. I'll do one or two more clicks. The reason I'm not going to do it on my website for this purpose is I found it locks me out, and then it's impossible to do anything. So it's not going to do it for me right now. So I apologize, but a sign-in screen should have appeared asking me for my name, email address, telephone, and things like that.
Constantine, did you previously log in on their site? Because maybe it just remembers that you were there before.
Oh, that could be. Yeah, I know I had logged in. So yeah, maybe that could be. I'm not really sure. It's the last one, so it's not going to do it. So I'm going to just abort this and go back. So you can decide whether or not you want people to sign in. Do they want to require a password? Do you want them to register to view all your listings? Do you want their telephone number? And do you want to have their email verified? So again, you can play with this, try it on your own, maybe try it for a day or two, see how, if you get leads coming in or out, and see how it works. It's really an individual's prerogative. If you're spending money driving traffic to your website, you want to see a return on your investment. If they're just coming, grabbing all your information and leaving and not getting leads, then you might want to restrict that and have them sign in. So again, it's something for you to think about. Social networks. This is where you're going to put in your social media if you want it to be part. So I'm just hovering over the question mark. This will be part of your social network block on your website. So if we go to our website, along the top here are the embedded icons for my social media links to my channels. And also at the bottom, it appears once more right along the bottom here. So if you do any social media and you would like to promote your channels on your site, you need to fill it in here. We have Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, and Yelp. So you're going to your actual home pages, copy and paste, and let people follow you. Keep in mind some of your restrictions. LinkedIn, if they're not signed into LinkedIn, they won't be able to see your profile necessarily. Facebook, if they're not friends, they may not be able to see. Hopefully it's your business address that you used for your Facebook. Same with Twitter. So there are some site restrictions depending on what you're using, but the icons do appear, and it's a great way. Again, these are links going to your social media site. So Google rewards you for this. If you have the ability to share links from your social media channels back to your website, reciprocating links are also really good, and Google loves that. So if you're looking for some free Google steroids, fill in your social media network links here, and on your actual channels, refer back into it. So they like that, okay? Additional website settings. Enable my listings or our listings on our website navigation. Mine is right now at no, so if I go back under right where my bottom of this search city, I don't have a button that says search for the inventory because I don't have listings. So if I was a buying, selling salesperson, I would have that turned on to yes. I'm going to hit save when I have listings. That way, if the consumer goes to select, sorry, where'd I go? Hit yes. Now when I refresh my screen, you can see I now have a button that says my listings. If I don't have any listings and I was a buying, selling salesperson, I would turn that off because I don't want to give the impression they're going to hit my listings and they're going to come up with this no results found because I don't have listings. The benefit of having it at no, if you don't have listings, is you want them to use the advanced search that's on your screen right here, search by city, neighborhood, address. Again, the data sharing isn't working properly on individual sites. Some have it, some don't. But if they search in here for Peterborough, the listings would appear all in the DDF feed. So again, you can choose to have my listings turned on. There's no right or wrong. It's just if I'm coming to a website, I want to look for inventory, and if I click and see 0, I'm probably gone to somewhere else to look for inventory. So that's what the enable my listings does. Also on the far side, we have enable my solds, yes and no. So right now, because the Real Estate Business Brokers Act hasn't been updated to reflect the necessary changes that the Competition Bureau put on us, the Competition Bureau said we have to share sale data through a designated password site. So because we don't have that, I would strongly suggest that you select no, unless you have written permission from the new owners of the house that you can continue to market it on your website. So you can show solds as long as you have permission from the new owners that you can do that. So that's what the enable with solds, and if there was a period, it would be just down below underneath the search bar. Custom domains, you can see here, are not available. If they were, you could add a domain there and it will appear on your website and would take the consumer to another website, or it could be a different page of your website, but that currently is not available. In available languages, I have French selected. That way along the top, there's an English and there's a French. If they want to speak à la Provence of Francais, they can click that and it will turn your site into French speaking. And that's pretty cool. And if they're English, then they select English. It reverts everything back to English. So again, allowing the consumer to select is great. And that's what that is there. As you can remember, what we're missing right now is the Chinese. That comes and goes. There's a bug. They're aware of it. So there's not much we can do with that right now. That's the first under the hamburger menu, website settings. So again, just a quick review, light or dark background. There's a navigation that's default. You need to figure out how you want to handle your leads, if you want your social networks to appear, if you're going to use your listings and your show data where they are, and if you want it to translate in French. So that's that one setting. And quickly, I'll go to the last one, is preferences. So we went to the hamburger menu, and now I'm going to select preferences. Preferences, there's just a few things to look at. First thing, probably the most important thing, there's two things. You can change your password at any time, and the system needs an alternative email. Anything but a Century 21 email address. And what this is for is if you request a password change, you forgot your password, they're going to send something to your alternative email. When we all first joined, the newer people, they were given their initial Gmail passwords through their alternative email. So it's really important. If by chance you don't have anything there and you do have a secondary email address, if you can put it in there, that will be great. Just in case you do get locked out or something happens, you have a way to recover your Century 21 information. SMS phone number, short message syndication. If you want a consumer to text you through the email, through the website, they do not see your cell number until you return it. This just appears on your phone as a text message. So you need to, if that's something you'd like, you need to put in your area code and your 7-digit number and select your phone carrier from the drop down here. For those that are on Rogers, CHATR-Rogers-T-Baytel. If you're looking alphabetically, you're not going to see Rogers by itself because this is across Canada, and this is, I guess there's more than one company or one name for Rogers. So that's just in case you're Rogers, that's what you're looking for, the CHATR Rogers. There's a button here, allow consumer SMS me on my website. You can have a yes or no. If you have it on, now mine is on, but I have a different profile set up because I'm not trying to compete with you agents. So mine's turned off, even though it says on, because I'm using a different background. If I did, I'd have a picture here of myself, and there'd be a box that says text me. I'm going to try just an agent. I think Crystal's is on. So here's Crystal. So see here, send text message. And she actually displayed hers. But if I did send text message, it opens up on the screen. You can put your information, your name. I'm just going to do a live demo. Phone message. This is a test. And I hit send. There's a green bar, text message has been sent. So Crystal just got a message because I clicked on her text message thing there. So that's something for you to think about if that's something you want. Consumers want to reach out to you. If that's something that you have turned on, I hope you all do, because I think that's the best way to do things right now. And if that's the case, you want to make sure you're ready to answer the text message. I think I might have just got out of the system, so I'm just quickly coming back into preferences. So that's the first thing that you can turn on or off.
Can I interrupt for just half a second? I got about 5 minutes, 4.5 minutes left on this session. Did you have much more content to go through? Because I was hoping we could do some questions too.
I will go very quickly now. I'll be done in 1 minute.
Thank you.
If you need to do a profile picture, this is where it's from. You need to choose your file and upload your picture. That picture there, mine's not on my website. This is where it would appear. You don't need to worry about office phone numbers, things like that. They're already on. Agent details, this is pretty important. This appears on century21.ca. So if somebody went to c21.ca, they're going to check you out. They want to look for an agent. I have a referral that I need to send to Century 21 United. I can search by location. I'm going to come down here to United Realty. I'm going to try to find an agent because I have a referral. This is where all our agents appear. You will find different profile pictures and sizes for different people. We like nice long pictures, long and wide. There's no right or wrong. You need to find the prettiest picture that works for you. If a consumer comes to you, I just want to go to my profile. Here's mine. They click on my name. Your success is our success. That is being taken directly from right here. Real estate, my designation, and a quick bio about joining Century 21. That is what's feeding this here. If you want to, again, you're probably appealing to the consumer or referral about how good you are. So, you know, maybe one or two good sentences. I would look to do a testimonial or two, absolutely, because they're there to check you out. Any languages you speak, for those who speak more than just English, this gives notification again to the consumer that you speak. I'm not looking for a specific agent, but if I'm looking for online for Greek, or if you speak Italian, Portuguese, whatever it is, put it in there. And the last thing I wanted to show here, this here is your social media links. This is different than the other page we were at. This page is for your social media links to appear under your bio here. So if a consumer or an agent is coming to send a referral to, they may be looking for your social media links, and that's coming from this section right here. So you want to, if you want to have that on, check your map, make sure you're in George Street or wherever it is that you want to highlight, not be lost out in Alberta or something like that. And that's really it, Doug. I'll send it back to you to see if there's any questions.
Very good. Thanks, Constantine. Did anybody have any questions?
There was one spot where it said URLR and you had nothing in there. Was there a reason?
That, I believe, was for if you had a specific URL that you wanted to have directed to the website, they are going to be adding functionality that you can buy a URL from them and direct the, like, you know, deansproperties.com. I think that's what it's for. So for the moment, don't worry about it. Okay. Good question. Thanks, Dean. Okay, guys, running out of time. And like I said, this will be posted. If you have any questions, post in the comments on the Facebook group. Okay. Thanks. See you later.
Thank you.